Hi everybody, I am Dr. K.S. Raghuram. I am going to deliver the lecture on engine lubrication system, in that splash lubrication and pressure lubrication system of automobile. This is a topic in the course of automobile engineering as a sixth lecture. So, before starting the lubrication system, let us discuss about the properties of the lubrication system. The main properties are viscosity, pour point, flash point, fire point, etc. Viscosity is the ability to flow down. Viscosity, pour point, flash point, fire point, pressure resistance, oxidation and thermal resistance. These are the properties of the lubricating oil. Lubrication is to provide good smooth running of the reciprocating and the moving parts. These are the objectives of the present topic. To know about the wear and tear of the parts, and to reduce the friction, to act as cooling medium, to keep the engine parts clean. These are the objectives of lubrication. To absorb the shocks between the bearings and to form as a good seal between the piston rings and cylinder walls. These are the properties of the lubricating oil used in the automobile engines. So, lubricating oil's property is characterized by SAE number, Society of Automotive Engineer. SAE means Society of Automotive Engineers, and they define the quality of the lubricating oil by numbers like this, right? The number, increasing the number implies it is the increasing of the viscosity. This is the first type of lubrication system, splash lubrication system, right? This is adapted in four-wheeler engines, right? This consists of a trough, oil trough at the bottom. At the bottom of the engine, we are having the oil trough. As you know, the engine bottom is having the crankcase. In the crankcase, we are having oil trough. This is oil trough. In this, the lubricating oil is filled. Lubricating oil is filled, and it consists of a vent hole, right? And the connecting rod from the engine is having a scoop like this. Scoop means spoon-like structure. Spoon, you can say spoon. Its technical name is scoop. So, with the continuous rotation of the engine, the scoop is dipped into the lubricating oil and takes some quantity of lube oil and sprays onto the walls of the cylinder. This is connected to the cylinder. This is the cylinder. So, this sprays lubricating oil onto the walls of the cylinder. The lubricating oil stuck to the walls of the cylinder, and the piston, when it comes down, the piston takes here. This lubricating oil is sprayed onto the walls of the cylinder, and the piston is having three rings. Here, the piston is having three rings. Upper rings are called compression rings. Compression rings. And lower rings are called oil rings. Right? And the piston rings are made of cast iron and are surface coated by nickel chromium alloy. Nickel chromium alloy. They have to carry very high heats and temperatures. That's why they are made of nickel chromium alloy. The nickel chromium alloy is having the property of resistant to very high heats and temperatures. And the piston rings are like bangles like this. Like this, right? And these type of rings are 3 in number for an automobile. The top 2 are compression rings and bottom one is the oil rings. The difference being the compression rings are continuous like this, but whereas the oil rings are having slots provided in them. These slots are evenly spread around and these are called grooves. Whenever the scoop sprays the droplets here, the droplets are being settled down in the grooves and these grooves catch hold of the lubricating oil and brought to the upper part of the inside cylinder, right? TDC, top dead center of the cylinder. As you know, this is the cylinder. This already we discussed earlier, right? This part is this one, right? So here rotates is to this scoop, right? Here it is connected to the piston, right? This is called as top dead center and this is bottom dead center. Whenever the piston goes down, it is the bottom dead center. So likewise, the same cycle continues forever. Hence, the piston is lubricated inside the cylinder so that it will reciprocate inside the cylinder very smoothly. Now, the splash lubrication system, which was discussed earlier, is adapted to low duty vehicles, whereas this pressure system is adapted to heavy duty engines and multi-cylinder engines. Here there are 4 cylinders, 1, 2, 3, 4 cylinder engine. It is 1, 2, this is 1, 2, of course, this is a 3 cylinder engine, right? So the crankshaft is having 3 cylinders like this. This is the shaft. Like this. In case of lorries and trucks, there are 6 cylinders or 8 cylinders. In case of low commercial vehicles like cars and jeeps, there are 4 cylinders and 3 cylinders. This is a car engine which is having 3 cylinders, right? And only one piston is shown here. So below this, there is a oil trough, as shown in the previous case. This is an oil trough which is filled with the lube oil. Parts of the engine, and with the help of a lube oil pump, lubricating oil pump, this lube oil pump rotates with the rotation of the crankshaft. This lube oil pump rotates with the rotation of the crankshaft. So as and when the engine is started, right, the lube oil pump gets started. So it starts its supply of lubricating oil to various parts continuously. That is the function going on in the pressure lubrication system, right? So this is adopted in heavy commercial vehicles, in which case a more amount of lubrication oil is to be provided continuously to all the pistons and cylinders. This is adopted. That is the pressure lubricant system in this one. And oil filters. This is another topic in the oil filters and oil pumps. As I told you, the main important function of the oil filter is to filter out the dust particles present in the lube oil. And there are two types of oil filters, full flow and bypass flow oil filters. Right? This is the line diagram of the oil filter, and this is the real oil filter which is used in the automobiles. The schematic of the oil filter is like this. Below is the oil. Here is the filtering element. This one I shown with green color. This is the filtering element. So this one is entered like this. This is the schematic of the oil filter, right? So uncleaned air enters into the cylinder. So this is air from the atmosphere which is having with dust particles. So these dust particles should not reach the cylinder, that's why they should be absorbed, and pure air is to be supplied to the combustion chamber. So here what is happening is, this air enters through this and it is dipped in this and comes out like this. In this way, both the ways, the air dips into the oil, right? And this oil dissolves the dust particles here. So these dust particles are settled here. These are the dust particles settled in the air. Dust particles in the air are settled in the lubricating oil, and pure oil reaches the up. Here the air still having small particles. Those small particles are received by these filters. So hence pure air enters the combustion chamber and is used for the application of the working of this one. Now let us discuss about the summary of the present topic, right, in the form of small questions. First one is, greases perform better than oils under conditions requiring high bearing load and high shock loads. Show journals, speed, temperature extremes, all of the above. So here grease is having all these properties. That's why answer is all of the above. So second question is also similar, but the options are different, right? So how grease is useful? cleanliness, minimum attention, seal. These three are the properties of grease. That's why D is the answer. And splash lubricant system is adapted either true or false. This is false, right? And semi-pressure system is a combination of splash and pressure system. It is true. Semi-pressure system does not enable higher bearing loads and engine speeds to be employed as compared to splash system. This is false. In full pressure system, oil from oil sump is pumped under pressure to the various parts. This is true. Right? So, all the images, videos embedded in this presentation are collected from various internet sources and are used for only